Get ready with me while I talk about recent school drama that is actually insane. When I tell you it is never ending, it is never ending. If you see this on your For You page, comment For You page and make sure to save this video so you guys can come back to my account for more parts. A lot of you guys were asking about Maya and Jack. So basically, Jack was like cheating on Maya. And she found out by a couple of her friends saying like, yeah, he keeps Snapchatting me. He was not supposed to have Snapchat, so he would like download it and delete it, download it and delete it. But when she said she first started seeing him Snapchat girls, he would turn down like the brightness of his screen and like turn the phone away from her so then she couldn't see. And then she would ask like, why are you Snapchatting other girls? He would say, oh no, I'm not. Then it goes to like the week he asks her to prom. She says yes, but at this point, she's like really tired of her friends and like people that she knows at softball practice coming up and saying that they see him on Snapchat, Snapchatting other girls. So she mentions like, maybe we should break up. This isn't really working. You keep Snapchatting girls and like lying to me about. He gets his mom involved. He gives his mom her phone number to text her. And she's texting her like, hey, you should really reconsider. And she's just like weirded out that the mom's texting all of this while he's texting her like begging her, don't break up with me. And then he'll go to the counselor's room and starts crying to her that he's like so in love with her and that he doesn't think that they should break up. So it's like lunchtime at this point and she's getting tired of the mom that just keeps messaging her about don't break up with him. So then she sends him a message and is like, we need to break up. This is like over. And then the next thing that we see is he's running to someone's car and then hops in it. And he's not been to school in like a couple weeks. Like, I'm not joking. I think he's just like gonna skip the whole year at this point. But guys, that was like such an eventful day. If I were you, I'd follow right now so you can be updated on all the recent drama that goes on in my life. And bye guys.
When I was in the 4th grade, I had this super ginormous crush on this one guy. He was a new kid, and I was, like, obsessed with him. I thought he was the cutest thing ever. And, of course, as one does, I go tell my best friend. I'm like, I really, really have a crush on this guy. And she's like, okay, well, you should go tell him. And I was like, no, that's not going to happen. We're not doing that. And she's like, okay, fine, then I'm going to tell him. So she goes and she tells him. Now, here's the thing. English is not his first language. So when she told him that I had a crush on him, he took it as, like, I wanted to physically crush him. And he did not take that very well. He started crying. So, yeah. Safe to say, he didn't like me back. In fact, he didn't like me for the rest of the year. Okay, bye!
I've always been super shy, and I remember in high school, I met 2 girls for the first time after moving to a new high school, and one of the girls told the other girl, wow, she has the personality of a brick. But growing up really shy has always made me feel like I'm bad at conversations. And it's not that I don't have a lot to say. I do have a lot to say, but when I'm in that moment, meeting someone new for the first time, my mind just like completely goes blank, or I have so many thoughts that I'm just like, I don't know which one to go with. Anyways, I was recently talking to someone about how I feel like I can't carry on a good conversation with someone that I'm just meeting, and they told me something that I don't think I'll ever forget, and I know it's gonna be helpful for someone else. And they said it's not that you're bad at conversations, you're just really thoughtful in a loud world, and I've never resonated with something more. I feel like a lot of people like to fill every single silence with something to say, and that's fine if that's what you like, but as a shy, reserved girl, I'm not gonna do that, and I'm not gonna feel bad about it because I don't have the personality of a brick. I actually have a lot to say, but I'm not just gonna open up to every single person and fill every single silence. And again, that's okay. Anyways, I hope that makes sense, and I hope that helps any other shy, anxiety-ridden girls. You're not bad at conversations. You're just really thoughtful in a loud world, and that's okay.
Telling you my high school drama because it shouldn't affect me anymore. Back in high school, I used to be part of a trio. We were all best friends with each other until we weren't. My mom used to never let me go out anywhere, nowhere with boys. I ended up leaving those 2 best friends to always hang out with each other without me, and I had the massive FOMO. I hate being left out. I remember every single time there was a party, I'd be on Snapchat for the entire night just looking at what they're doing, updating stories every 5 seconds. My worst nightmare happened and the both of them started getting really close. There was a lot more inside jokes. They'd be like, oh, you wouldn't know about it, you weren't there. And I was so mad. There's me, and then there's friend B and C. My mom never let me go out to parties, so they ended up getting really, really close. Me and friend B, let's call her, were closer than me and friend C. I realized that friend C was getting jealous of how close me and friend B were, even though we weren't hanging out as much. Friends B and C go out again by themselves. This time, she wasn't even trying to hide it. She was throwing slights at me the entire time. Friend B came to me the next day and told me how she was talking shit about me the entire night. Friend B was really loyal and she knew that friend C was hurting me, so she didn't like how she was acting, so she stopped being friends with her in total. But that's why trios never work out. There's always gonna be one friend that's closer to the other. There's always gonna be a duo and a trio, and it's never gonna work out. Honestly, I feel like the only trio that's worked out for me is when it's 2 girls and 1 guy. Or even 2 guys and 1 girl. I feel like when it's 3 girls, there's always like some form of being left out.
Racist things that happened at my high school, part 2. My junior year of high school, my friends and I ran for a position in this club. Like, we ran for multiple positions. It was 3 positions we ran for. I ran for 1. My friends ran for other 2. And basically, in that club, a lot of Black people don't, like, have positions in that club in my high school. Like, it's just known, like, it's not a Black, you know. So after voting was done, I was the only, like, person in my group that made it, that looked like me. So, yeah. I kid you not, an assistant principal pulled my friends and I aside and literally told us, did y'all really think they were gonna let 3 Black girls win? Like, basically telling us we should be grateful that we even got 1 Black person. Oh. When I was running for homecoming queen, the way the white girls at my school were moving and acting and treating me, absolutely not. I kid you not, I would be minding my business and then they would be like, vote for this person, and like be doing little side eyes and really weird and just being weird and disgusting towards me. Like, they would purposely be like, vote for my friend, and like try to rub it in my face and just try to have like a really nasty attitude. And my thing is, I run for positions. I ran for multiple positions. And I know, like, yes, we can be competition, but I'm not going to treat you bad because we are competition. I hope everyone has a blessed and amazing day. Maybe I'll do a part 3, because you would think this is done by now, but it's not done. Bye, loves.
My ex tried to feed me to a ghost. Storytime, get unready with me. We were going to his room to get snacks, and we had just watched The Conjuring, and we were super scared. As we were walking up the stairs to his little dorm to get the snacks, we heard knocking coming from inside of the wall. Bro, when we panicked, we thought Annabelle was coming out of the movie to get us. So we both started running as fast as we could. Bro, so you know when you're running, you're like this? Well, he wasn't like that. When I say he wasn't like that, I mean he wasn't like that. He didn't do this. He did this. He literally freaking Bob elbowed me. And the nerve of him to keep running without looking back, bro, I lost all hope and I was like, whatever. Like, if there's a ghost coming to get me, I'm just gonna slowly walk up the stairs because I'm so mad right now. If this was a real life scenario and a zombie apocalypse came, what he would have done would have tripped me and I would have died and gotten eaten by the zombies. As I slowly walked myself up the stairs, I was thinking, bro, if he closed the door on me and locked the door and I go up and I see that he's not there waiting for me, I'm literally gonna dump this bitch. Luckily for him, he didn't close the door. As soon as I went in the room, I told him it was not okay. And guess what this man had the audacity to say? He said, sorry, this was my natural fight or flight reflex. I was so scared. Blech. Bro, like, how are you expecting to be a dad when you can't even protect your future wife? I want kids in my future, and one thing I know is that my baby daddy is not going to throw my kid to the zombies or the ghosts. And guess what? That wasn't even the most disappointing part. The most disappointing part was the non-existent snacks. We went all that way just for some instant rice. Anyways, that's my get ready with me. This is the final no makeup look. This is my pillow. Good night.
Story time on how I got caught with it, babe, at school and got suspended. But first, if you see this on your FYP, comment FYP. So y'all, this had happened freshman year. And y'all, before this had happened, I did not get in trouble at all. Like, I was a good student. And I'm not gonna lie, back in 8th grade, I used to dibble and dabble. Like, I had found a breeze outside my house one day, so I picked it up and it worked, so I started using it. Or if my friend had one, I would take a little one too. So y'all, during 9th grade, I had completely stopped. But y'all, my old ways, they had came back to me. Because me and my friend, we was walking around town one day, and I had seen a vape on the ground, so I had picked it up, seen if it worked, and it didn't. And me and my friend, we was joking or whatever, and I had just put it in my bag. Why I didn't put it back on the ground, I don't know why. After I picked it up, I just left it in my bag. I kind of forgot about it. Like 2 weeks later, I was in class with my friends and we were like talking, laughing. So I needed to pull some papers out of my bag. So I was doing it kind of fast. It was like, just pulling them out. Y'all, why does the vape drop to the ground? And y'all, my teacher, she doesn't see it at first. Why does my friend start drawing attention and being loud? So she turns around and she's like, I gotta report you. Like, y'all, this teacher really likes me. And I'm like, you gotta report me for real? I mean, y'all, I get why she had to do it now, but like at the time, I was mad. So I went down to one of the staff members' office, and it was like, we finna have to call your mom. And y'all, I knew I was gonna get my ass beat. So they tried to call my mom. She didn't answer. So they was like, call her on your phone. Nope. Wrap it up. So I'm thinking she not gonna answer for me, but she answers for me. So the dude's talking to my mom, and it's like, Nicole got caught with a vape. She's gonna get suspended for 3 days. That man handed that phone back to me. I took it off speaker so fast. She said, I don't care if you're on speakerphone. I'm gonna whoop your ass when we get home. But y'all, she don't cuss. She said, I'm finna tear you up. I'm finna tear your tail up. So she comes to pick me up, and the car ride is silent. And y'all, while I'm in the car, my friend's like, oh my goodness, this really happened? Like, that's so crazy. I'm like, yes, I'm going home. So we get home. She's like, hand me that phone. Hand me all of that. Hand me that Nintendo Switch. Like, my Nintendo Switch, really? Like, y'all, she had my dad take my TV out my room. Like, y'all. And after that, she whipped me. She whipped me at the big age of 15. So after that, I got grounded for 2 weeks. And the crazy thing is, my cousin came over and she got suspended too. And we was talking about that, but they had to leave because I was on punishment. So for the next 2 weeks, it was me, my Chromebook, and Skilla Baby interviews keeping me sane. Like, but y'all, that's basically what happened. If y'all want more story times, let me know in the comments below. Bye.
Story time on how the whole SOT team started searching for me when I skipped a lesson. In case any Americans are watching this video, SOT is someone who's higher than a teacher but lower than the head teacher. And if any SOTs are watching, I don't really get the point of your job. Okay, so this was maybe in like year 9, and I never really liked school. And one day I wasn't feeling like doing my lesson, so I decided to skip it. This lesson was maths, so if you hate maths like me, we're on the same page. I don't think I should be saying this story, but it happened a year ago, so what are they gonna do? It came down to the moment where I was supposed to be in maths, but I decided not to go. I was feeling overwhelmed, so I most definitely did have a reason to do what I did. Here's how the story gets interesting, and I'll tell you guys how I did it. Most people in our school skip, which is why there's SOT guarding every single toilet, especially the PE ones at the end of lunch. What they basically do is make sure that nobody ends up staying there. Mind you, these are the toilets that I was trying to skip in. At the time, we also had a system where year 9s weren't allowed in certain toilets, and I didn't want to be going there in case I got myself in more trouble. Sometimes these SOTs are there and sometimes they're not. When I decided to go, guess what? They were there. If I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't even know how I managed to avoid SLT because she was literally screaming at people to leave. Luckily, I did get in before she came and the first cubicle was out of order, so I went there. It wasn't actually out of order, but she believed it was. There was this girl in the cubicle next to me and I think that she also wanted to skip, but she got caught. At this point, I was the only one left there. Basically, what I did there is sat with my legs crossed on the toilet and my handbag was up on this sanitary bin so that it looked like there wasn't anyone in the cubicle. 20 minutes in, I hear somebody talking outside the toilet and I'm thinking like, oh shit. I'll never know who it was, but my guess, some SLT talking to the head teacher. So I start messaging my friend because I'm scared and I don't know what's going on. And she basically ends up telling me that the whole SLT team is looking for me. In my head, I'm thinking I'm so cooked. How am I even gonna get myself out of this situation? And if things couldn't get better, an SLT actually walks into the toilet and I go dead silent. No joke, I'm literally shaking like that. But I need to stay quiet and I can't get caught. As I'm sitting like this in the toilet, I hear the SLT walking outside the door and all I hear is their footsteps. But then they suddenly stop and I'm like, I thought I got busted. Out of nowhere they leave though, so I'm just celebrating that I didn't get caught. The whole period passes, so I just go home. I thought that because they didn't find me, I'd gotten away with it, but no, my parents were called. As soon as I went in the car, my mum was like, why did I get a phone call from school? She clearly wasn't happy, but there wasn't much that she could do. Anyways, I was like, okay, cool, my mum knows about it. I didn't get caught, I'm fine. When I came home, I was just wondering how the whole SLT team didn't find me. Not that I wanted to be found anyways. The next day I go to school not thinking much of it, but an SLT pulls me out of form.
I had to call the police on the family that I worked for because they wouldn't let me leave. I've babysat part-time since I was a teenager and I've never had a real issue until this family. They were new to town and through word of mouth, they found me, reached out to me, and asked if I could watch their kids. I end up going over to their house the next day. We do a little informal interview. I meet the kids, I meet the parents, and they seem very lovely, okay? Looks can be deceiving. And they asked me if I could babysit that Saturday from 2 to 7 p.m., which was fine. But I made very clear that I needed to leave by 7 because I had another babysitting job that was starting at 7:30. And I made it very clear how important it was that I was out of there by 7 because this second family that I was gonna be babysitting for, I'd babysit for a long time. And the husband was actually being recognized with an award for work. So he was going to this gala. Yeah, I needed to be there. I let them know. And the woman goes, no worries. Don't even worry about it. We will be home by 7. Honestly, maybe even 6:45. So the day of the babysitting gig comes and the kids are so sweet. Honestly, they were really easy to take care of. We were playing board games, eating pizza, watching movies, having a great time until about 6 p.m. rolls around. That's when I get a text from the mom that says, hey, we actually just ran into some friends when we were out at dinner, so we might be running a little late. My stomach drops because again, I had another family I needed to get to. So I text her, I'm like, hey, how much later? Because again, I have another job at 7:30 that I need to be at. And she responds, I don't know, like hard to say, but maybe around 1 or 2 a.m. I think she's joking. There's absolutely no way. So I the message. I'm like, no, but really, what time? She goes, no, I'm serious. Probably like 1 or 2. Like, they're kind of rowdy friends, so I know they're gonna keep us out pretty late. We haven't seen them in a while. And this is where the panic starts setting in. So I respond, you know, under different circumstances, I would be more than happy to stay later and watch your kids so you could have fun with your friends. But as I told you, I have another family whose kids I need to watch, so I do need to be out of here by 7. The mom just responds, no, you need to stay. No, please, nothing, just nope. Like, it's not happening. So I respond, I can't stay. I need to go at 7. She just responds, well, it's not like you can just leave my kids alone. So unfortunately, it looks like the other family's just gonna have to make other arrangements. I just respond where I'm trying to still be nice and polite and patient at this point. I said, you know, we did say that our agreement ended at 7 p.m. So that's when I need to be out of here. She just responds, that's not my problem. What do you mean it's not your problem? It's involving your children. So actually, by definition, it's definitely your problem. And even though this woman is being ridiculous, I still, for the next 20-ish minutes, am trying to be polite. I'm offering to help find another babysitter to come over and watch them after 7. I'm offering to call relatives, neighbors, and she's just like, no. We interviewed you for this babysitting role. We want you watching the kids and you can't leave them. So, you know, too bad, so sad, basically. And at this point, I get a little less patient and a little more stern. I said, I'm just gonna be very blunt with you. You need to be here at 7 because I need to leave. There's another family that's waiting for me and I need to go take care of those kids. So be home at 7. She just responds, you're being so selfish. I'm sorry. Make that make sense. Make that make sense. I need to leave to go take care of another family's children. And you just want to go out and party with your friends. I realize that texting is getting me absolutely nowhere, so I decide that I need to call the mom. I call her, doesn't answer. I call her again, straight to voicemail. Then I get a text from her saying, stop calling, we're trying to enjoy our night. Great. So I decide to do the one thing that I always do when I don't know what to do. I call my mom and I said, Mom, this is what's going on. I don't know what to do. And she said, yeah, you need to call the non-emergency police line because you gotta go and you can't leave these kids by themselves. So that's the only solution. So I called the second family that I'm supposed to be babysitting for. I explained to them the situation. They are so kind and understanding. They were like, you know, we were adjusting our timing for traffic. So we have a little bit of a buffer anyway. As long as you get here by 8, it's fine. So I was like, okay, perfect. Then I called the non-emergency police line. I tell the dispatcher on the phone, listen, I don't know if this is the right number to call. I just didn't really know what to do. And the dispatcher immediately took me so seriously because apparently trying to abandon your children with a babysitter for way longer than an agreed upon time is pretty serious business. So they were taking me very seriously. So at 7 o'clock, the time that the parents were supposed to be showing up, 2 police officers arrive. And I explained to them the situation and they just can't believe what I'm telling them, that parents would actually do this and try to pull this. So then the officers try calling the mom and again, straight to voicemail because she was not picking up for anyone. And apparently they leave her a voicemail because 5 minutes later, I get an all caps text, you called the police, I can't believe you, just absolutely chewing me out. Like, what did you expect me to do? I tried to come up with a solution and this was all I had left.
The parents were actually only like 5-ish minutes away, so they get home very fast when they get the message from the police, and immediately both of them look so angry. The dad looks at me and says, "I don't understand why you would call the police when you told my wife that it was no problem staying late." I looked at him, I said, "I'm sorry, what? Did you read the text messages I was sending?" Then he looks at his wife, and she just is not even making eye contact with him. Apparently, she told her husband, "Oh yeah, the babysitter said it was 100% fine to stay till 2 a.m. She has no issue with it whatsoever." And she was just lying to him. But she's still trying to act like she is in the right and fighting with me, saying, "Well, you made a commitment to watch my children, so you should have been here for as long as we needed you." I said, "I made a commitment to watch your children from 2 to 7. And this mom is just chewing me out. Finally, the officers stop her and say, "Ma'am, you're not in the right here. You just need to pay the girl for her time and let her go to her next babysitting job." And mom goes, "What do you mean pay her? She ruined our night. She didn't complete her obligations." The officer says, "She did. She was here from 2 to 7. Actually, now it's about 7:20, so you actually should be paying her for that time as well." I was like, this officer is the MVP right now. So very not happily, I did get paid. I honestly wasn't expecting that these parents were gonna pay me. I wasn't gonna even argue about it because I just wanted to get out of their house and never speak to those people ever again. But yeah, I did get paid. So that's great. Only from 2 to 7. I didn't get the extra money for like the extra time I had to be there. But you know what? I'm not complaining about that. And I did end up making it to my next babysitting appointment by 7:55. So it did work out. That couple was able to make it on time for their event. But yeah, it was a close call. One of the craziest parts is about a week later, the mom actually reached out to me and said that her kids loved me and they want to hire me to watch them again. Like, you're kidding, you're actually kidding. I blocked her number and I will not be babysitting for them again. But yeah, just make sure to vet really well who you're babysitting for.
Story time about my online boyfriend that I flew to Minnesota to meet up with in 8th grade. Despite this video being for entertainment, this is something that's very dangerous. I knew what I was doing was stupid and I did it anyway. Please do not do this at any situation. I was very lucky that something bad did not happen to me. Anyway, this all started in 2022 when I was in 8th grade, and I was pretty obsessed with the idea of having a boyfriend. And honestly, the guys that I had talked to were really bad people and I was not getting very lucky. And also at the time, me and my friends had an obsession with playing Roblox. Me and my school friends would play with some of our online friends, which were like actual like good people. And it was like these 3 boys and then this 1 girl. Anyways, one night we were all playing Roblox together and these 2 boys joined our server. And when we would all play together, we'd all like call on Discord, so like it was this big thing. And these boys that had joined the server also had Discord. So we start talking to these boys and we're like, oh, we should all call and play Roblox together. And we add them into our little Discord thing and we played Roblox together multiple times. So sometimes when we would play with these 2 boys, this 1 boy who we're gonna call C. Now me and my friends usually played with C, not the other boy. So me and C obviously started spending a lot of time together. It got to the point where we'd start texting one-on-one on Discord. We started texting one-on-one so that we could organize like our friend group playing together. And late at night when our friends would go to sleep, me and him would play together. Now all the people that me and my friends would play with were either younger than us or they were the same age as us, but C was about a year older than us. And the reason that me and C got along so well was because we had a lot of similar interests. We both played instruments, we both liked to draw, and I felt like we both kind of got along on the same level. Anyway, one thing turned into another. Eventually we would be on call together until like 3 in the morning, and I had never really had that happen to me with a guy before. So talking to a guy that like actually cared about what I was saying was something that was like so new and so intriguing. But anyway, some time goes by and obviously we both started developing feelings for each other, being like 14 and 15 years old. He asked me if I want to be his girlfriend. Were we actually dating? No, we were like in middle school. It wasn't that serious, but at the time it did feel serious. But then people from my school started finding out about it. The girls that was in our friend group, I would tell her about how me and this guy were like dating, and she told everyone. And obviously I was embarrassed because I didn't want people to know that the only guy that I had ever been in a relationship with was now an online boyfriend. Anyway, it gets worse. This relationship lasts about like 2 weeks, and eventually we get into a big fight because he asked me for, and obviously I say no. It ends up happening a few times where he'll ask me later and I say no again, and it got to one point where we started fighting and he just blocked me. Right when I thought that this situation couldn't get any worse, my parents decided to go through my phone. And obviously they're not very happy. I end up getting grounded and I don't get my phone back for about like 2 months. If I was grounded, I would go on my computer and I still had him friended on Roblox so we would play together. Anyway, I go into my freshman year and I want to say that I completely forgot about this situation, but I did not. Regardless of the fact that I talked to multiple guys and got into so many situationships, I still was talking to this online guy. The thing was that he apologized, so we ended up being like friends, and then we would still play Roblox, we still would call, and we'd still talk, and we were just friends. Fast forward to us being friends for a while, I end up going on a trip with my family to the Mall of America. By the way, this was the summer before my sophomore year, so this was an entire 2 years that had passed. But at the time that I was going, I told him, hey, I'm going to the Mall of America. I know you live 5 minutes away from the Mall of America. We should meet up. Of course, he's like, oh, I have soccer practice that day, but I would love to meet up. While I'm on a trip to the Mall of America with my family, I split up with them and go meet up with this boy. Anyways, I do have a picture of him like spying on me, also like us meeting up, so if you guys want to see that, this video to 10k likes, I guess. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please do not do anything I did in this video because, again, it's dangerous. And yeah, thanks for watching.
Story time about how a teacher practically bullied me to the point that she allegedly got fired. So for a bit of context, I am in sixth form at my school and this teacher taught me criminology and law, so I had her for 2 subjects. Currently in year 13 right now, but all of this drama happened in year 12, so technically I'm in college. At this time I was in the middle of doing my law coursework, which was very important because it like went towards my A-levels. All of my class literally had no idea what they were doing. But the teacher was supposed to help us and like teach us the subject so we could do our coursework and give us like guidance and stuff. But this teacher did not turn up. So I would go to school, it would be my only lesson that day and the teacher would not be in and then I couldn't get picked up, so I went to school for no reason. So my entire class basically had to do the coursework on their own and basically teach themselves the subject because the teacher was never in. And then one day she miraculously came back into school and she had a tan and we were like, so where have you been? You've been on holiday? And she literally skipped teaching us to go on holiday and lied about it to the school. Bitch, we can tell you got a tan. So the first thing that this woman was doing was just not teaching us at all, not even turning up to lessons. But then it got a whole lot worse and very targeted towards me. This teacher was well known for being quite laid back and she actually got on with a lot of the students. She also swore quite a lot when she was teaching and other students were allowed to swear as well because like we're technically in college, like teachers aren't supposed to be as strict, you know. The only reason why people didn't really like her is because she was a very unreliable teacher and just basically never turned into her job. Bear in mind she worked part-time as well and she literally only worked like 3 days a week and she couldn't even turn up for those lessons. So one day I come into her class and she's actually teaching today, not on bloody holiday. We were learning about a topic that I actually wasn't in the lesson for because I actually had a doctor's appointment, not skipping going on holiday. And I asked her if I could please have the sheets for the lesson because then I would know what I'm doing and I can like catch up for the lesson that I missed. So she said, yeah, like of course, let me print it off for you. And the printer was down in the sixth form centre and we were in social science, so it's like a little walk to there. It's not like a major walk, but it's still a walk. It's not like it's in the same area, you know. So I'm sat down getting out all of my stuff for the lesson and she says to go pick up the sheets and that she's printed it off. So I headed down to the sixth form centre to go get the sheets that she said that she printed off and nothing came through. There was nothing there. So I came back in and I said to her, well, the sheets aren't there, like, can you print them off? And she said, oh, try again, like it takes a while for the sheets to come through. So I said, okay. I walked back there, waited around 15 minutes. By the way, this is when everyone's doing their coursework. So I'm printing off sheets to do my coursework. And we had like not that much time to do it, if that makes sense. So it was very important that I got my coursework done this lesson. So I'm there at the sixth form centre literally waiting for ages for these sheets to come through and nothing's coming through. So I head back again and I open up the door and I say, I've been waiting there for ages, still nothing's coming through. And then she literally burst out laughing in my face and said, oh, it'd probably help if I actually printed them off. Girl, you said that you printed them off. I went to go get them, I came back. Then you said it takes a while for the printer to print it out because you sent it. And I was saying that you haven't printed it off. And she just proceeds to laugh in my face, thinking it's funny. But I've wasted about 20 minutes walking back and forth, waiting for these flipping sheets to print to do my coursework. And you think it's funny. So at this point I can feel my blood literally boiling and I'm looking over at the rest of the class all getting on with their coursework and it's the most annoying thing because like that should be me. So I look at her after she stops laughing at me and I say to her, do you want me to go get it then? And she goes, Yeah, well, that would be the wise decision, wouldn't it, Freya? Sorry, you sent me over so many times and you wanted me to go over again. Like, I'm literally wasting so much time. I need to be doing work. Instead of getting, like, annoyed about it and stuff, I just say FML, which means fuck my life. Like, because I'm just annoyed, I'm literally going back and forth, like, you know, but I don't want to make it like a big thing. And the class laughs and stuff, and they're all seeing that she's sending me over so many times. So they're like, oh, like, it's taking the piss a bit, do you know what I mean? So I leave, walk to the printer, walk back to the classroom with my sheets that are finally printed, and she's there waiting for me outside of the door. She's like, I don't appreciate you swearing in my class. I was like, oh, no, like, it means, like, fuck my life. Like, I wasn't anything to do with you. Like, I wasn't swearing at you. I didn't even say a swear word. I literally said an abbreviation, FML. And I get that it can come across rude. Like, I do understand that. But the thing is that I was doing my coursework and she was physically stopping me from doing that and found it funny. I made it very clear to her that I was not swearing at her and that I was just frustrated about the whole situation, and I apologised as well for being rude. I said sorry in that moment. She said, okay, come in, sit down and get on with the coursework. That was the end of it until it got a lot worse. So the next day I come into school, sat down in like the common room. My head of sixth form comes up to me saying that she needs to have like a chat with me. So I was like, yeah, of course, like, what is it? She said that there has been a report made that I was swearing at a teacher being incredibly rude and that I deserved to give her an apology, even though I already gave her one and I did not swear. She said that it was not okay and that I have to have a meeting with my mum. Bear in mind, this teacher swears all the time when she's teaching. She does scenarios in law and she literally swears during it. I have not once said a swear word in her classroom, and all the other students, when they're asking questions and stuff, they swear as well. I also let my mum know about this whole situation, so she already was aware, and I rang her letting her know that she has to come in for a meeting, and she said that she would like to talk to the teachers as well because she doesn't agree with what this teacher made me do, going back and forth to classrooms and stuff. So me and my mum went into school and had this meeting. It was first thing in the morning. I was there with two like head teachers type thing, and we sat down. I told them the entire side of my story, and they turned around and said to me that because I swore at a teacher, I have to be suspended. I start bursting out crying because I've never been suspended before, and also it was just out of frustration and anger because I've not once swore at this teacher and she was the one who was being rude to me. My mum started crying as well because it's like she could see how hurt and stressed I was about the whole situation, and it was just not a good time. So I got suspended for swearing at a teacher. Makes no sense. I said FML and this teacher swears all the time and so do other students. Like, make that make sense. This teacher practically made up a lie and got me suspended, which will go on my school record thing for when I'm looking for a job, which is brilliant. Another time that this sort of thing happened was that me and my two friends were in criminology and we were like typing on laptops and stuff, and one of my friends said one thing and this teacher came over and screamed at us for not doing the work and talking instead. By the way, we were literally sat there doing the most work and the rest of the whole class were all sat on sofas doing nothing. Which, low-key, if you can get away with it, then do it. Like, come on now, like, that's so good. But me and my friends were actually doing work and we got shouted at for not doing the work and talking. What? And that wasn't enough, just shouting at us, and she actually banned us from coming back to any of her other classes because apparently we were rude. We weren't. We didn't actually say anything to this teacher. She literally shouted at us for talking, and the only thing we said was sorry, we're actually doing the work though, look. And we wrote loads. We were banned from going to our classroom and learning any criminology when we had an exam coming up, which wasn't helpful at all, and we had to write her an email apologising to come back to class. So us three girls all reported it because it was a very unfair thing, especially when we had an exam coming up and we couldn't even go to the lesson. And then the teacher said that they were looking into it, and then the next thing we knew, she left. So we all think that this teacher was fired because the last thing that the teacher said about her was that there were other complaints about her, and then she left. So we think she was fired. That is just some of what this teacher's done. If you want a part 2 of everything else, then let me know. Hopefully I don't get in trouble by the school for this. And thanks for watching. Love you, bye.
Got me up on a late night. You steady playing on my mind. Oh, I can't get you out my head.
I am traumatized. I am freaking traumatized. I am never going back to the mall ever again. So I'm gonna give you guys a little breakdown story of what happened at the mall the other day because I never got to tell you guys. So the day before I went to the mall, I was playing with makeup, and then I was like, I wanted to call a few people because after playing with my makeup, I don't know why, but for some reason I just have loads of energy. And I called a bunch of my friends, but like none of them really answered. So I called one of my other friends, like my one last try, and they did answer, so I was very happy. And we were all talking or whatever because they were also at a sleepover, so we were just talking. Then one of the friends I did called me back and was like, oh, hey, like, sorry, I didn't see your call. And I was like, no, that's fine, I'll actually call you right now. So I hung up my call and I went and called her. I don't want to be saying out names, so we're gonna call her Abby. So me and Abby were on the phone and we were just catching up talking, and I was like, you know, Abby, we need to hang out soon. And she was like, wait, I'm going to the mall tomorrow, so do you want to come? And I was like, yeah, sure. She's like, it was originally with my other friend. Hold on, I need to think of names. Olivia. We'll call her Olivia. It was originally with my friend Olivia, and she was like, we can just all go along. So I was like, okay, that's fine. Then I told her who I was on the phone with before, and she's like, oh, add them to the call. So we all started talking, and then all of a sudden, Abby's ex calls. We're gonna call him Stinky Dinky. So Stinky Dinky gets on the phone, is just like being a bitch. He is not being polite. He does not have manners. He sounds like a Bob. And he's just talking very dirty to my friend Abby. Now, my friend Abby is actually not taking it. She's avoiding it, which I was very proud of her. Because how are you gonna just... They're exes, so... I mean, like, I get it, but come on. While all her friends are on the phone, like, be for real. And, she's talking to him or whatever. And then I go to talk, and he starts saying, like, shut up, bitch, this and that, da-da-da-da-da. I'm like, who the fuck are you talking to? You ain't talking to me, ho. And I might need to do a part 2 on this. Sorry, guys. It's too much. So I'm yelling at this kid. I'm like, I don't know who the fuck you're talking to. I literally don't know who you are. I'm ignoring you for a reason, so when I'm talking and you try to respond to me, it's on purpose. I am not acknowledging you. Like, you're a bitch. You're a hoe. You're a fucking pussy. Then this kid has the audacity to go and say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm so mean right now. I just haven't had my ring stop for the night. Be for real right now. Are you fucking kidding me? So I said, and whose fault is that? Like, that's not my fault that you're a fucking fat ass and have, like, you're hangry. Like, I don't know what to fucking tell you. Go eat. Like, I don't know. Go eat an apple, actually. Go eat a fucking apple. So then everyone's cameras go off, meaning that they're scrolling on their phone. I'm just sitting there on the call, and Stinky Dinky is literally just looking at me like, hello? Like, bitch, I don't even know why you're still on this call. Get the fuck off. He keeps telling my friend he's not interested in her anymore, but, like, he wants to get down. I'm like... So then I asked my friend Abby, I'm like, hey, what time are we going to the mall tomorrow? And he goes, Stinky Dinky goes, who said you were coming tomorrow? What? I look at my friend, and I go, what is he talking about? She looks at me and goes, oh yeah, me and Olivia are going on a 2-man. What? What did you just say? Did I hear you right? So I yell, hell to the fuck no. I am not gonna be a 5th wheel on a 2-man, because I don't do 2-mans. I don't date boys right now. Like, right now it is me focusing on school and my life and my future and sports. So I was like, alright, I am not coming tomorrow. And she's like, no, look at my text. She texts me and she's like, no, we're ditching them. And I'm like, okay, cool. So I get back on the call and I'm like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll go, okay? And he's like, Stinky Dinky goes, I promise I'll be nicer to you tomorrow.
No!
Bitch, who said I was going to talk to you? And I went, okay. Okay. Then me and Abby start talking about having a sleepover. He goes, "Am I invited to the sleepover?"
No!
Let me think. No. Sorry, it's just not meant to be. And then he continues to harass us about that. I'm like, boy, you are not, even if we did, you no. Then he pulls, okay, what time are we going to the movies? Movies? What the fuck? I look at my friend again and I go, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? What is he talking about? She's like, no. And I'm like, okay, good job. She's like, I'm not going tomorrow. I'm not doing all that. I was so happy. I was like, good job, girl, for sticking to your guns, because if you didn't, I was. So then later on in the call, I'm scrolling on my phone, so I can't see anything. All of a sudden I hear, oh, nobody's on the call. What? I look on the call and it's only me and Stinky Dinky. It's been like this for a few minutes. But the catch is, he wasn't like scrolling or anything, like he was on the call. So what the fuck do you mean that you didn't know that they were on the call anymore? And I go, oh, well, I gotta go. Yeah, bye. So then I wake up in the morning and I'm getting ready for the mall. And I text my friend and I'm like, hey, I'm gonna be heading to the mall. Let me know when you're ready. You know, like, I was like, do you even want me to come? Because I know it's a 2-man. And she was like, hell yeah, I want you to come. Like, I'm not going to tell you I don't want you to come. And I was like, okay, good. Because I really do want to come hang out with you guys. My friends. And then she goes, yeah, we're going to ditch them. So, like, da-da-da-da. And I said, okay, so I'll meet you guys there. That's when I get in my car and I'm, like, almost there. And I see that they're posting TikTok, Olivia and Abby. So I'm like, okay, so they're at the mall. Why didn't they text me? So I call them. I'm like, hey, where are you guys? They don't answer. Both of them. 5 times in a row. And I see that you're on your phone. So now I'm pissed. And I call them. I'm like, where the fuck are you guys? And they're like, oh, yeah. Oh, we're at the mall. Oh, I can't hear you. What? Oh, I'm sorry. I can't hear you. Hang up. And I call back, and I'm like, where the fuck are you guys? Oh, yeah, meet me at the mall. Okay, I was like, okay, I'll be pulling up. Then they go, oh, but we're going to the movies. You're going, right? Excuse me? And I was like, no, I'm not going to the movies because you guys said that you weren't. You guys said that you were ditching. She looks over, and she's like, oh, Abby, you told Jalen that? Well, yeah, or I didn't even hear what she said, but, like, she knows she said it. They're like, that's fine, we're gonna be meeting the boys outside anyways, so we'll meet us wherever. So I met them. And then this is where things took a turn. I'll see you guys in the morning for part 2. Y'all see what I'm doing there? Yeah, because I didn't expect this video to be this long, and I don't have enough for the rest of the video, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!
Since it's almost time for me to go to college, I'm gonna tell you guys all the crazy things I did in elementary school. Now listen, before I went to elementary school, I was, you know, myself, a child. And so when I went there, I'm autistic, so I found out, oh, the way I'm acting isn't how everybody else is acting, and so I can't do that anymore. But before I realized that, in about like 4th or 5th grade, before I realized that, I was a crazy little girl. And so there was this kid I really disliked because, one, he was smarter than me. Don't judge me, I was a kid. Okay, I was used to being the smartest kid in my family, at least. But not only was like he smarter than me, he was like a jerk about it. Like, he was so rude to me about it, and I did not like him. So one day, while everybody was getting up and handing like test papers back in, when he got up, I took my little Elmer's glue stick thing out. I rubbed it all over his chair, like all over. Like, I ground that glue stick to the little white part sticking out. So I got glue all over his chair, and he sat down on it. He didn't notice, and he kind of when he stood back up, and nobody ever knew that it was me. And another thing, there was this guy that I liked in maybe like 3rd grade, second or third grade. I think his name started with either a Q or a J. I don't remember what his name was, so I don't know what to call him for this. But where's my hair clip? Okay, this one we'll have to do. So at recess, I would pretend to be a velociraptor and follow him around and like protect him from like his friends like roughhousing, and like I was fully like going around like this. Okay, I was a freaky child. I don't know what I was doing. And now let me give you some context for this next one, because in elementary school, my class had this one game that everybody, like almost everybody in the grade, because we had like 4 classes in one grade, so it was like 100 kids maybe. So it was all of us outside at our recess times just playing this game. And let me tell you, this game was not like tag or hide and seek or chicken nugget. If you know what chicken nugget is, I love you. But so this game that everybody would play, I don't remember the name. I don't think it had one, but it was basically like food countries. And it was like political. Like we would pretend to have like wars with each other. We had different factions of food. Like I remember there were the dragon fruits that my other friend was in, but the group I was in was like the carrot kingdom, because my other crush at the time, he was a ginger, and I was like, we should like have a club, like the carrot club. And so it just evolved into the carrot kingdom. And of course, being the little elementary school simp that I was his secretary, which was also basically his bodyguard too, like with that other guy that acted like a velociraptor with. It was basically the same thing, except I was a little tiny bit more normal about it this time because I was older. But anyway, so we were not normal children. We did not play tag. We played countries. And so one day, the Carrot Kingdom, which is me and my crush's group, had a little altercation with like the dragon fruit people that my best friend was in. And so it did get to the point where like the 2 factions were chasing each other around and like trying to hit each other, tag each other, I don't remember. But it got to the point where my friend in the dragon fruit, he like tagged my crush, but she kind of hit him like really hard. And so like I still can't believe I did this. I just like kind of grabbed her and swept her leg out from under her and like body slammed her to the ground. She was okay, of course, like kind of impressed too, and a teacher came over. I remember it was the only guy teacher we had there, so he was honestly like kind of chill about a student body slamming another student onto the ground. He was honestly like, I remember what he said exactly, because I remember like a few things from elementary school. He was like, you know that's not okay, but I've got to say that was the best takedown from an elementary student I've ever seen. So like not my proudest moment, but also it was my proudest moment as an elementary schooler. Like I don't want to say it because I was like an elementary schooler, so I didn't really know what was going on. And like Deuce was in middle school, but I was the Deuce of my elementary school. There was another time, I don't remember what for, but I also like body slam took down another student, and like the PE teacher came over and he was like, but he didn't see it, somebody else told him, and he was like, so if I check those cameras, am I gonna see you taking down that student? And I was like, no, you're not gonna see me doing that. He never checked the cameras. I guess he just thought the other kids were making it up. He didn't believe I was that bad, but I was in fact that bad. I do not remember a lot of other things right now, but if I do remember something, I'll make a part 2, because yeah, I was crazy.
The best foundation for cloud skin, free of talc, waterproof, high coverage, and non-cakey.
Hey guys, here's a story time on how me and my friends got caught sneaking out and we're not allowed to be friends anymore. The reason I have to be quiet is because my walls are paper thin and this literally happened this morning, so I don't want to be too loud on the creek. You gotta be real quiet on the creek. Never mind. Okay, so for starters, me and my best friend, we're on vacation together and we had just got back yesterday and we decided to sleep over at our other best friend's house because we didn't see her for like 2 weeks. Okay, so the best friend's house that we were sleeping at, she was like wanting to go out. I mean, we were all wanting to go out, but like she knew people, so like we went out and we got like a ride there by one of our friends. And so then we get there and we're all like, we're 30 minutes away from our house. And this is like 12 a.m., 2 a.m. Like, we stay there for a few hours, right? And so we get to the house of the people and we're 30 minutes away. And then all of a sudden, one of my best friend that I was on vacation with, her mom texts her, "Where are you?" And her mom knew that she wasn't home, well, at our other friend's house, because she forgot to pause her location, and her mom has her location. We literally, like, remembered as we got in the car, but we were like, bro, why would she check your location at 2 a.m.? We didn't think anything of it. So we're freaking out. We don't have a ride home. We didn't even think about how we're gonna get back home, actually. So kind of good that we got in trouble because we would not have a way back home. But yeah, so parents were calling. Then my other friend, that house we were staying at, her parents are calling. My best friend's mom starts calling me, texting me. They're all texting me and like blowing out my phone. We're all ignoring them because we're like, what the fuck do we do? We don't have a ride home and we're not home. We're 30 minutes away. So my best friend's house that we were staying at, or my best friend's that house we were staying at, she like starts calling her grandma because her grandma's chill as fuck. And we're like, what the fuck do we do? So she's calling her grandma and her grandma like is trying to help us, but she can't. Like, she's in Alabama. We're not in Alabama, so she can help us. And we're like, what the fuck do we do? And her grandma can't help us, but she's trying to. So then her grandma adds my friend, to a call with her parents, but her parents don't know. She secretly added her, and her parents were like talking about how she's in trouble and how it's like her friends that she's hanging around, basically me, because I just started hanging out with them, and like saying that they're gonna ransack her room. I was watching the video back and I forgot to mention that her parents like went through all my shit. Like, we came back in, all my shit was rummaged through. Like, they ran through that shit. Like, all my shit was open and unzipped because they think she's doing, you know. And so then, like, my friend's mom, the one I was on vacation with, her mom's like, bro, I'm gonna come pick y'all up. So she's driving to the place, and I'm like, I don't want her parents to think I'm a bad influence. So I'm just like, y'all, I'm gonna get like an Uber home. I'm on the phone with my mom. I'm like, bro, mom, I'm scared of their parents. Anyways, I was like, Mom, I'm scared of their parents. Like, I cannot go with them to get picked up. And then she was like, you gotta go. I'm gonna get you from their house. Like, you gotta go with them. So I get in the car, like 10 minutes after they already get in the car, and they already came up with a story that they told the parents, but I didn't hear the story. And so they were questioning me because they already knew. And I was like lying my ass off. And they hella knew I was lying because they already told them a story. So they're like, y'all are all saying different fucking stories. So like, fuck. So then I realized like my friend's parents took their fucking phones, and I was like, bro, y'all didn't delete shit because there's so much. Our group chat, it's getting leaked and we're fucked, right? So I was like, fuck, like, y'all didn't delete shit, like, we're doomed. Okay, so the best friend that I was on vacation with, her parents are both in the car, and then my other best friend, her mom is in the car in the back seat with me. I had to sit with her right next to her, and it was really awkward. And so my parents are already at one of my friends' house because they're like neighbors, so whatever. And so then we get to my best friend's house that we were staying at, and we get there and her dad's waiting on the driveway, and he just starts cussing us all out, like all three of us. He just starts cussing at us, saying like we can never be friends again and we're not welcome back and go grab our shit, whatever, right? So that happens, and then we go back to, I give her a hug because I'm probably never gonna see her again. Actually, I will, but like, it's gonna be a long time because her parents hate me because they think it was just me. And so then we go back to my other friend's house, and I get my stuff because I had stuff at her house too. And basically, my friend that we were staying at her house, her parents are going through her phone and finding all the shit she's been doing because she also just snuck out the other day, and her parents didn't catch her, and they just now did because they went through her phone. So now that friend that she snuck out with is also in trouble. So the friend I was on vacation with is only grounded for the summer, and I don't know how long the friend who I was staying at her house is grounded for, but they said that we're never gonna be allowed to be friends ever again. So, and so then like my mom's chill, my stepdad's chill, they're just like, bro, like, this why you don't sneak out, like, you fucking idiot. But like they didn't even care. And so then I don't have my phone taken. They have their phones taken. Like, their phones are taken. But I asked my mom, I was like, wait, how did she even know that we weren't there? And so basically, my friend, not the one I went on vacation with, her mom, like, woke up in the middle of the night, had a bad feeling. And apparently she, like, called my friend's mom that we were staying at her house. She was like, where are they? Or, well, she didn't answer. So I guess she, like, drove to her house or something and was like, where are they? And she was like, sleeping upstairs. And then she's like, can you go check? And so we weren't there. And then that's how she found out. So I guess she got, like, a bad feeling. Like, genuinely, mother's intuition is not something to fucking play with. And also, the friends whose house we were staying at, her parents are, like, 10 times madder than anyone else's. And so they're finding out more than just sneaking out, like, she's fucked. Like, they're finding everything out, like, genuinely everything. And I just feel so bad for her. Because, like, bro, I have the chillest parents ever. Like, I always get caught doing shit, and my mom does not care. Like, genuinely, I feel so bad for those girls. I'm sorry, guys. All I'm gonna say is, my friends that parents are pissed, she has a really bad video of me doing something, and, her mom is literally snitching on everyone. So, let's hope I don't get exposed, because I have to be like an angel to my mom. She knows I'm not perfect, but like, she would never expect this from me, so I'm praying for myself. So also, when I got in the car, one of their moms was like, what are the people's names? And I said one name that was the truth, and then I lied about the other two, and I didn't know that she already knew their names, and I didn't want to get my friends in trouble, or their man, or their person. And so I was like, lied. And she already knew, bro. I did not know that she knew. She was laughing in my face. She's like, that's funny as fuck. I was like, shit. But yeah, guys, that's my story time. Pray for my girls. And yeah, also, here's the nails I just did. I hella did not do this side, but yeah. Bye.
What is up, everybody? Welcome to this story time that people have been waiting for. So lately on my account, I've been hinting at the fact that I've been going through a friendship breakup, and if you know anything about being a girl, or like, I mean, you don't have to be a girl to go through a friendship breakup, but like, I feel like girl friendship breakups are a lot more dramatic. So, I mean, if you know anything about a dramatic friendship breakup, you would know that friendship breakups suck. They might arguably be worse than just like a normal breakup, because, like, damn, we're supposed to be social creatures. You know, that's what people say about humans, but doesn't this world just make it hard to be social sometimes? Let's be real. So, welcome to my friendship breakup story time. Hope you enjoy. Buckle up, because it's gonna be a long one, okay? Great. Okay, so, starting off. So basically, me and this girl that I'm talking about, we were friends for approximately 3 years. We just met each other, like, we were both, like, classroom friends, and we just clicked right away. Like, it just seemed like we were, like, two peas in a pod, like, perfect for each other. We're both, like, pretty down-to-earth people, like, you know, not trying to be popular, like, not popular, not annoying, not, you know, doing all this extra shit, just, like, normal fucking humans, right? The summer going into our junior year, we start hanging out, like, we start, like, doing cute little things, like, going to the lake and stuff, and I'm, like, thinking, like, this is such a great friend, like, I'm having such a great time with her, like, what could possibly go wrong, right? Like, literally, we're just meant for each other, and, like, all the things we're doing is so much fun. But I started noticing a pattern where we would schedule a hangout, and then she'd be like, oh, I forgot that we're gonna hang out, and my family had plans, and I was like, you know, at first I'm like, okay, you know, shit happens, okay, like, people forget about things. I'm like, okay, but this pattern, it just kept on going and going. Like, we would schedule something, we would talk about doing something, and, like, she would just keep fucking me over every single time. Oh, whoopsie, actually, I can't go. Whoopsie, you wanna hang out this day? And then we schedule it for that day, and then that day comes along and we get fucked over again, you know? And it got to the point where I was so incredibly fed up with it. This was, like, halfway through my junior year. We had planned to hang out at my house for New Year's, and I'm at the gym. I literally remember this day like it was yesterday. I was at the gym, and I get a text from her being like, yeah, actually, I'm at urgent care. Can't go tonight, sorry. It's like, bitch, I've been looking forward to this, you know, like, really? I know you're lying to my face, too, because I literally saw pictures on her story, like, a day later of her hanging out with other friends. Like, okay, you just didn't want to hang out with me. You know, it's fine. Like, you could just told me that, like, hey, I actually just, like, don't want to fucking hang out with you. But no, you just decided to lie to me. So then, I was pissed off, so I decided to just not talk to her anymore. I'm like, I don't know if I'm calling this off for good, but we need a break from each other at least, you know, we need to do some reflecting. So I just decided, hey, let's just not talk. I mean, I never actually said anything to her, but I just, like, decided this in my own brain, like, I'm not talking anymore. So it ended up working out just fine because we didn't have any classes with each other this, like, my second semester of junior year. So we were able to avoid each other in school pretty well. Yeah, so I didn't talk to her all that summer. And then fast forward to the beginning of senior year, I was in music theory, and so was she. And it was really fucking awkward at the beginning of this year, because she was in the class and, like, we weren't, like, talking anymore. And then there was, like, one day we were, like, taking a test, and, like, after we turned the test, she was sitting right next to me, and she just goes, "Hey, Brooke, I'm really sorry for screwing you over on New Year's. Like, I'll try to be better. Let's be friends again." And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, an apology, appreciate it. You know, like, I can give anybody a second chance. Let's give it a go. So shortly after that, we start hanging out again, but nothing improved. Nothing really improved. It was still the same pattern of her screwing me over, but for some reason I was still tolerating it because it was senior year, and I didn't want to be alone and have no friends. So I was literally just sitting there like, you know what? It's not that bad, right? No, it literally just kept going, and it was just infuriating because she literally sat there, apologized, and didn't change anything that she apologized for. Like, if you're gonna say sorry for something, fix it, bitch. Don't fucking sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for basically lying to your face and screwing you over for, like, months on end. Won't do it again though." And then she does it again. And, like, you might be thinking to yourself, you're a little dramatic. No, because I just want basic, decent respect. I just want to be heard. Just want to not be left undelivered for fucking 7,000 hours, bro. Like, it's crazy. But I'll get into that a little bit more later. So basically, what else? Where am I? Right. I'm in the midst of senior year. So fast forward to March of this year, second semester of senior year. I was really fed up by this point, right? I'm like, nothing's changing. I'm sick of being screwed over. So there was this one time, you know, I asked to hang out, and she was like, "Yeah, sure," and then screwed me over again, as per usual. And then I kept, and you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna start imitating her energy. Every single time she texts me, I'm gonna open the message and leave her on delivered for 7 hours. You know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna start copying what she's doing. And here's the really funny part. She gives me the silent treatment. Like, I'm the one doing something wrong. Like, this is a big detail. We had intro to business together second semester, and usually in this class we would sit next to each other at the same table. One day I'll come walking into class, she's sitting at a completely different table. I'm like, ew, right. Okay, so as soon as I start imitating your energy, as soon as I start doing the things you're doing, you want to sit there and act all hurt. Like, how do you think I've been feeling? Right. Like, as soon as I start returning the energy, I'm the asshole. I see. Okay, but yeah, so then right there and then, I decided that I was gonna call it quits. I was done. But I'm leaving out kind of a big part of the story. Let me rewind a little bit. So basically, after that last time I attempted to hang out with her, I posted this Instagram note, right, of a song that was about fake friends. I will be a little bit honest here and admit that was a little bit immature of me. Like, I probably shouldn't have done that. But she kind of put two and two together and figured out it was about her. Ooh, looks like someone lives with a guilty conscience. Ooh. If you figured out that song was about you, ooh. Looks like we have some reevaluating to do. Anyways, but like I said, maybe I shouldn't have done that, right? Maybe that was a little bit immature. But, you know, she stoops down to my level and also posts this petty-ass Instagram note like, "Oh, I guess I'm the asshole for not," like, I don't know what it said. It was some stupid shit, right? And I was just like, okay. So yeah, after that, I texted her, right? And I was like, okay, none of this Instagram note bullshit. We clearly need to, you know, talk things out like civilized human beings. Like, stop playing the victim here because you're not the victim. And she sends me this whole paragraph like, "Well, it's just really hurtful when you ignore me, and, like, you leave me undelivered when I'm just trying to, like, figure out a time to hang out. It's hurtful when I leave you undelivered. What have you been doing to me, bro? What have you..." No, don't even. Okay, so that happens, right? Like I said, walking to class next day, she's sitting across the room. I'm like, okay, cool. Right there and then, in that class period, I decided, I'm not gonna try to reason with you anymore. I'm gonna protect my peace. I am calling this friendship off for good. We're now rekindling this, because I was wanting to talk things out and maybe, you know, sort things out, but no, clearly she doesn't want to. She wants to give me the silent treatment, so I'm like, I'm gonna block you on all socials and never speak to you again, which was my hope, right? Right. Okay, so shortly after that, I made that TikTok that was on this account of, like, stop putting effort into people who won't put effort into you. And that was not targeted at a certain person. I was just, you know, stating something that everybody should know. But once again, this motherfucker lives with a guilty conscience. So I guess I forgot that I did not block her phone number, and she forgot that I even had her number. So I'm just chilling in my bed one night, and all of a sudden I get a text from you-know-who with this whole fucking paragraph, this whole pathetic-ass paragraph, poorly written, very poorly written paragraph. It sounded like she wrote it when she was, like, fucking blackout drunk, like, not even kidding. I wish I screenshotted it, because it'd probably be pretty funny to show on here, but I don't have it anymore, unfortunately. It was basically this whole thing, like, "Oh my god, you're so ridiculous. You want to come on here and act like you're the victim and throw your little pity party and act like you're the one that got hurt, and you want to post all this shit." It's like, I didn't even post that about you, bro. That was just about fake people in general. But if the shoe fits, wear it, girlfriend. Like, yikes. I don't know. That's a you problem if that shoe fit that well, girl. And also, it's my social media. Call me petty all you want. Call me immature all you want, but it's my fucking TikTok and I blocked you on it, so I don't even know how you found it. I know it was one of your stupid little friends that probably pulled it up. You guys are probably hanging out, pulled up my TikTok and were binge watching my videos like the fan you are. Like the fan you are. And I know you're probably watching this right now. Hi, how's it going? Great, I know. Yeah, I know. You fucking fan behavior as hell. But it doesn't stop there. No, it does not. Because after I block her number and I'm over here just trying to live my life, trying to move the hell on peacefully, she just doesn't let me move on peacefully. Yeah, because fast forward to last weekend, it was senior sunset, right? I'm planning on meeting 2 of my other friends at the park for senior sunset, and I left my house like 30 minutes before so I could go to Target real quick, like get some snacks, get my Starbucks, for senior sunset, right? And I'm walking out of the store, and I see this car, like, okay, my car's parked like over here, and there's a car parked like over here, right? Probably like maybe 20 feet away from my car, and I'm looking at the cars, I'm walking to mine, and I'm like, that car looks kind of familiar, like I've seen that car in my school's parking lot before, because it had senior, like, across the back windshield, no, it's not a windshield, the back window, and I'm like, I feel like I've seen that car before, right? But I'm like, okay, I wasn't thinking much of it, you know, there's plenty of people I recognize from my school, and as I'm like opening my car door, the car I'm talking about starts going in reverse. I'm like, okay, they're just leaving. And as I'm like sitting in my driver's seat at this point, but my door's still open so I can hear the outside. And the car drives by, and I just hear, "Fuck you!" yelled. And it kind of sounded like her, and I'm pretty sure I recognize this car. And the car goes speeding off out of the parking lot, like fucking 70 miles an hour. I was like, what the hell was that? But I was like thinking to myself, like, let's not jump to conclusions here. Like, that could have just been some other stupid teenagers just, you know, yelling out their car window, like, you know, how kids my age like to yell. I was trying to give her the benefit of the doubt for some reason. I was like, maybe that wasn't her. Let's not jump to conclusions. Even though I was like 99% sure it was her, right? So I drive to senior sunset, and guess who I see in the parking lot? The same car. Yeah, the same fucking car. And my other friends arrive, I get out of my car, and I walk past the car, and what do you know? It's her and her other friend. Yes, it was them. It was fucking them. Like, oh wow, you're such a fan of me where you see me in the Target parking lot and you feel the need to catcall me like a 40-year-old man. Like, y'all are giving 40-year-old pedophile. You know what I mean? Like, why are you acting like this? Like, holy, you wanna call me petty? Like, you wanna call me petty. You're like a whole other level. I was just angry, you know what I mean? Like, it's perfectly normal to be upset after a friendship breakup, after being continuously screwed over. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I've been feeling. But she's just like, you're like, you're not even the victim, and you're doing this shit, you know what I mean? Yeah, it was just insane. So I told that story to my friends, they were like, what the actual hell? And then, yeah, unfortunately I had to see her a couple other times at graduation, like at other like senior events and stuff. And yeah, and it was just funny to me because she has so much guts hidden behind something. Like, she has the guts to yell at me out her friend's car window. She has the guts to send me this stupid fucking paragraph over text that she would never say to me in person. Or she has the guts to, you know, say some stupid shit over Snapchat or stupid Instagram notes, but she cannot even look at me in person. You know what I mean? Like, she can't make eye contact with me for like 2 seconds. And it's just like, wow, holy pathetic. You know? Like, if you feel this way about me, like, you should like try like saying it to my face maybe? No. So yeah, you're a pussy, by the way. If you're watching this, by the way, you're a fucking pussy, you're pathetic. Because like, why can't you say anything? Like, hey, like, why can't you say anything? The only reason okay, hold on, shit's falling. Okay, you know what? I'll fix this after the video. The only reason why I haven't said anything to her face, because I was trying to protect my peace. I'm just trying to protect my peace. I'm trying to let this go peacefully and not cuss her out and cause a shouting match and like make a scene, because that's the immature thing to do. Like, I will do that if that's last resort, but I don't want that to happen. You know what I mean? Like, don't make me do that. So before any of you guys are like, why didn't you say anything to her? That's why. I just wanted to let this go. I just wanted to say bye-bye silently, but she's making it very hard. But also another thing I mentioned in the story I posted on here yesterday was like the fact that I think she threw a nail under my tire. Yeah, I'm not sure about that still, and I don't really want to jump to conclusions. But like I said, I had my tire pressure on, like my tire pressure light was on. I go to check it yesterday at Discount Tire. The guy's like, so there's like a giant nail in your back tire. I'm like, oh great. So I had to sit there for like 2 fucking hours because the place was busy as hell. They fixed it, they got the nail out, but I couldn't help but think, like, she threw nails under my tire. Like, who else would have done that? Like, literally, like, it's so. Like, I could have just ran over a nail on the road. But, like, I would not be surprised if she did that, you know what I mean? Like, yeah. But that's basically it. I graduated, 5 days ago, and I never have to see her ever again, unless I see her in the wild somewhere. But, like, you know, once I go off to college and 3 months from now, I will never see her over there. I will not see her up at UNC Greeley, because she's staying here in our hometown, while I'm gonna go find new friends and live my life. And, oh my god, it's gonna be the best thing ever. I can already tell, like, I cannot wait. Don't get me wrong, I love living here, but like, get me out of my hometown, bro. I just, for a little while, like, get me out. So yeah, that's it. That's the friendship breakup story. I know it wasn't like we stopped being friends over some crazy shit. Like, it's not like she like went and hooked up with my boyfriend. I don't have a boyfriend, but like, if I were to have a boyfriend, it's not like she went and like did some crazy shit. She just kept doing shit that was irritating and like wasn't respectful. Like, I just felt so disrespected and so hurt every single time. I felt like I was like walking on eggshells every single, like, you know what I mean? Like, I just felt like I didn't matter. And I finally stood up for myself and finally started treating her the way she was treating me. and suddenly I'm the bad guy. Like, oh, okay, I see the person you are. And even though I just want this to be a lesson to everybody, even if what's going on in your friendship isn't too bad, like it's not detrimental like what I was going through, it can be bad enough to be draining. And you deserve somebody that's not going to drain your mental health. You know, like you deserve somebody who wants to put in the time of day for you. You deserve someone who, like, just respects you. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. But thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. And yeah, that's it. Bye.